Before going into the topic details, I want to bring your attention to the UPSC coaching programs offered by ClearIAS. ClearIAS offers online and offline courses to help candidates get selected for prestigious government services like IAS, IPS, or IFS. ClearIAS, Prelims cum Mains, PCM course, provides a highly effective study plan, well-organized subject-wise videos, study materials, mock exams, and guidance to cover the entire GS syllabus of UPSC CSE Prelims, Mains, and Interview systematically. As a limited period offer, there is a 40% discount on our online courses. Enroll now.
During the Vedic period, there was the emergence of the idea of state in India. The formal state in India has first got emerged as part of the Vedic period. And what this states was referred as? Yes, very good. It is referred as Mahajanapathas. Fine. So different, I think it was almost 16 kingdoms, different kingdoms which were available, and the most powerful one was, the Magadha kingdom, isn't it? The Magadha kingdom was very powerful, and we will have to learn about the different dynasties that have ruled over the Magadha kingdom. So those dynasties include the Haryanka, Shishunaga, Nanda as part of your syllabus. So this syllabus breakdown is not available for you. Fine. This syllabus breakdown is not available for you in the syllabus as per the UPSC. UPSC has not provided this breakdown. So that is the reason why we are providing the breakdown for you. These are the things that you will have to refer for the preparation of the UPSC as part of the ancient India. Fine. So can you give some examples of other Mahajanpadas other than Magadha? Vaji was there. Very good. Then Kanauj. Yes, very good. So there was Malsya kingdom. You have Vaji, Valsya, you have the Malsya kingdom, Kosala kingdom, Magadha kingdom. So there were so many kingdoms. Even I don't think this Kanauj is also a right one. So there were many kingdoms which can be referred as part of the 16 kingdoms, which starts from 600 BC to 321. So this was the time period of Mahajanpada, 600 to 321. One of another kingdom which I am able to remember is Malla kingdom. So that is the certain kingdoms, but the most important one, you will not have to go through the entire 16 kingdoms as part of your preparation. Suppose if your optional is history, then that would be a necessity. Otherwise, it is practically not possible to learn all the dynasties who have ruled all the kingdoms. That is not possible. But still, you will have to learn about Magadha, which is very, very important. And the dynasties that have ruled Magadha, including Haryanka, Shishunaga, and Nanda. So that is also important, and that will end the Vedic period. Now starts the Mauryan period. So after the Vedic period, you will have to understand about the Mauryan period. So in Mauryan period or in Mauryan Empire, the most powerful ruler was undoubtedly King Ashoka the Great, isn't it? So there are only some people who may be referred as great. So definitely King Ashoka should be regarded as great. So different dynasties as part of the Mauryan Empire. So the Mauryan Empire starts from 321 BC to 187 BC. Still we are continuing with the BC period. So Mauryan Empire starts from 321 BC to 187 BC. Death of Ashoka, different dynasties have got emerged and they have started controlling over the Indian subcontinent. Some were foreigners, including Kushanas, Shakas, and some were even indigenous, that is Sankas, Satvahanas, and Kanvas. So we will have to learn about these dynasties also. Fine. After the death of Ashoka, some of the smaller dynasties, smaller kingdoms, they have emerged. And those dynasties or those kingdoms were predominantly foreigners, as well as there were indigenous also. So that is what is the examples which is provided here. Kushanas, Shakas, they were foreigners. Indigenous were also there, and that were Sanka, Satavahanas, and Kanvas. So that will end the Mauryan Empire. Now, here it is very important that you will have to go through the Ashoka inscriptions again as part of the art and culture. You will have to go through the architecture of the Ashoka period. So that also becomes part of your syllabus. Fine. So you would have heard about the stupa of Ashoka, the pillars of Ashoka, which consist of the inscriptions, doesn't it? So that also becomes important for you. Now, coming back to or coming down to the south. So when you learn the history of the UPSC Civil Services examination, you will feel that the South Indian history is not properly mentioned in any of the NCERT textbooks even. So the mild references you can see over in the NCERT textbook or even from the questions of UPSC is that regarding the Sangam age. You can start from 2500 BC to 500 AD. I'm speaking about Sangam age. And 3 important kingdoms. Can you name it?
Pandya.
Yeah. Pandyas, Chera, Chola. Yes, very good. So 3 important kingdoms that you will have to learn as part of the South India. As part of the South India is Chera, Cholas, and Pandyas. So that also get part of your syllabus. Now, after that, we will have to understand about the post-Mauryan period. So now we are again shifting back to the north. So this is the milder, or this is the fewer evidences that you can see in the textbook regarding the South India. Now again, we are shifting towards the north. So you will see that the post-Mauryan period starting from 187 BC and it is 320 AD. So BC period is over. Now we are moving to Anno Domino, that is 320 AD. So in those period, we will have to understand about, I have already told you, the post-Mauryan period, there were some smaller kingdoms that have got emerged. So that is what is provided here. The post-Mauryan period means Sunga, Kanwa, Sakas, Pahlavas, Kushans, all those kind of foreigners as well as indigenous kingdoms that we'll have to understand. And after that, you have again the great Guptan Empire. You would have heard about the Chandragupta Maurya, isn't it? So we will have to learn about Chandragupta Maurya's period also. Predominantly, that is what is the important one. 320 AD to 606 AD, you will be having the Guptan Empire. And it was the powerful empire after Mauryas. It was the most powerful empire that we have seen after Mauryas. That was after the death of Ashoka, the most powerful empire which may be having that extension or expansion was Guptan Empire. Now, after this, the ancient India will end by the decline of Mauryan Empire, and now the Harshvardhana will take over. So 606 to 647 AD, this will end the ancient India part. Fine. So this will end the ancient India part. So this is what you need to learn as the first stream of the history of India provided as part of the prelims examination. Are you getting this? So in the prelims examination, you are provided with the history of India. So this is where you have to start with from the Indus Valley civilization at least. Forget about the Stone Age, does not matter. But at least from the Indus Valley civilization, you will have to definitely learn. Doesn't it? Have you heard about the different sites of Indus Valley civilization? Can you give me some examples? Mohenjo-daro, number 1. Harappa, yes, very good. None?
Dholavira.
Very good. Dholavira. Then Lothal, very good. Kalibangan. Fine. So those kind of Harappan sites, including their excavation, the first excavation happens in the year of 1921. Isn't it? The first excavation happened in the year of 1921. The first site excavated was Harappa. Fine. So it is basically a way of life of people. Fine. Civilization means it is a way of life, basically. So those community who were residing near the Indus, river Indus, on the land of Indus, those way of life was regarded as the Indus Valley civilization. Fine. So this is the basic concept which I would be able to clear or make you clear, because we have the limitation of the time for the orientation session. Definitely you will get more clarity as part of the full-fledged session. So this will end the period of ancient India. So you can understand that ancient India may start from Indus Valley civilization to the period of Harshvardhana. So you can say that it starts from 2500 BC and spans over 647 AD. This is what is marked as ancient period. Fine. Now starts the medieval period. So medieval period starts from is it from Delhi Sultanates or from Rajputs? Yeah. So the medieval history from Rajputs until till Mughal. What? Yeah, till Mughal means who was the last ruler? Yeah, it was Aurangzeb. Yeah, it was Aurangzeb. So can you say the year in which there was death of Aurangzeb? Yes, very good. 1707. That will end the medieval history. Fine. So in medieval history, you will have to learn. Yeah, that is what is provided here. So the medieval history starts with 647 AD till 1707 AD. Now, in medieval history, you will have to go through predominantly the most important element that is part of the history of India even. And even the architecture is also important during this particular time. Fine. So you will have to learn about the Rajputs 647 AD to 1206 AD. And then you have the Delhi Sultanate 1206 to 1526. Can you give me certain examples for the dynasties under the Delhi Sultanate? Yes. Khilji dynasty, very good. Then slave dynasty, Lodhi dynasty, yes, very good. There is Said dynasty. You might have heard about this guy for his foolish policies and programs. Have you heard about Tughlaq dynasty? Yeah, Tughlaq dynasty. So these are the dynasties that you will have to learn under the Delhi Sultanate. And of course, we will have to learn about the Mughals also, including Akbar, Shah Jahan. You will have to learn about the Mughals also. And finally, by the death of Aurangzeb, the medieval history ends. At the same time of medieval history, we will have to go to the south also. And in the south, you will have to learn about the Vijayanagar and Bahmani Empire. Fine. The Vijayanagar and Bahmani Kingdom. Down the line of south. So medieval history is comparatively a smaller session or smaller area to be dealt with in comparison to the ancient or in comparison to the modern. And modern is the vast volume of the subject that you will have to deal with. And medieval history is comparatively the most crisp session that you will have to deal with. But still, there can be a question from the medieval history also. And you would have came through a trend that when you see the question paper of UPSC, before 2014, you would be seeing predominantly higher number of questions coming from the modern Indian period. And what is the reason for that? Before 2014 and post 2014, what is the change in the pattern of the question paper? Yeah, the government has got changed, doesn't it? The government has got changed. So before 2014, you have the Indian National Congress-led UPA government. So they used to ask, the UPSC used to ask questions predominantly from the Indian national movement, basically the freedom struggle, those kind of ideas which were put forward by the Indian National Congress, the important personalities. Yeah. It is not the influence of the government. It is giving a reverence or respect towards their particular ideologies by the UPSC. That's it. It is not something which Mr. Modi comes and say that you need to frame question from this part. No, it is not like that. But still, there is a kind of affiliation towards the policies and programs of the government. That is obvious. That is obvious. Why? Because the UPSC chairman will be appointed by the President of India on the aid and advice of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Isn't it? What? Definitely. So that is what you need to understand. Do not worry about that kind of aspect. I'm just pointing out to you that these are the possibilities of framing question. Even when you see the Public Service Commission of the Kerala state, you will see that questions come. Especially, I have seen some of the questions that they used to ask one particular MLA and his constituency. And why do you ask such kind of question? MLA and his constituency. What is the importance for you to understand that constituency and that MLA to get an entry to, say, for example, secretariat assistant post or a civil police officer post? What is the purpose of doing that? Isn't it? So such kind of questions used to ask, or which a political leader has got the highest majority of vote in the last election, and you will say that it is Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. So what basically is they trying to do is that they are making the youth understand the fact without the cost of marketing. Isn't it? The smartest brains of the country appears for the UPSC exam, and the union government's policies, programs will get, in fact, passed to that community of youth without an effort of marketing. So that is the reason why they would consider this kind of framing the questions. So that is not a serious issue, but still you can see that before 2014 consideration was given to the modern history, but post 2014 you will see that predominant consideration now comes to or shifts to the ancient India, the art and culture parts. So you will see predominantly higher number of questions to the art and culture part. Why? Because yes, the government is pro, you may say that it has that kind of proud and that kind of emotional attachment to those heritage and culture of India in the ancient times. Isn't it? So that is what is reflected in the question paper now. But it does not mean that modern Indian history becomes not important. But they, in a way, try to remove this particular part from not coming in the question paper, which means the medieval India will be not treated as per the requirement. Why? Because they does not wanted to ask about the Delhi Sultanate. They does not wanted to ask about the Mughals. You would have seen that several textbooks of the state have removed the medieval portion from its history. So do you think that without Akbar, the medieval history, or without Mughals, the medieval history is complete? No. And this is how history evolves, isn't it? After certain generation, the people will not be knowing about the Mughal history, isn't it? Suppose your granddaughters, they will ask you, was there a Mughal dynasty? We were not having the source in the textbook. So is there available? Was that available in India? So that kind of questions will come from the next generation. So over the period of time, these things will get outdated. So that definitely gets part of the influence of the government.